Hello, welcome to Mary Hall's channel. My name is Dale DuFay. I'm going to do the narration on this video for her. And we're on Google Earth here. This is an excellent tool. It shows so many details everywhere. Like the Mid-Atlantic Ridge here. And we know that this separates 1 inch a year. It's really interesting. So this ridge has expanded over 5 feet in my lifetime. There's proof of it in Iceland. But anyway, Mary found a really incredible site it's right by the Falkland Islands. Now, as I zoom in, I'll keep it right in the middle here. Pay attention just off the Falklands and see if you notice something right in the center there. You see this here? That is an impact crater. It's very obvious. Now, keep in mind that this light blue area indicates that the water is much shallower. And during the ice age, this would have been above sea level. And this would have been above sea level at the time of the impact. Now, assuming it was an impact, it's a crater from a meteorite. But this thing is very obvious. It has all the telltale classic, features of an impact crater. There's many examples on land. But the interesting thing here, you could actually see the ridge. Of course, there's going to be erosion from being under water for who knows how many years. But it's still a distinctive ridge all the way around. Now we can do a 3D, but keep in mind when you do the 3D, as it's turning, it'll actually invert the picture, the image, and this will actually look like a mound. So keep that in mind. But this is definitely a crater. There's no doubt about it. You can see the ridge is actually higher here, so you almost like the trajectory of the impact came from this direction. And well, first off, before we go into 3D, let's measure this. It's quite large. You'll be surprised. I was. Let's measure it from this high, right inside the ridge here. We'll add the point, and then we'll come across like that. Look at that, going on literally almost 10 miles. A 10-mile, let's just say a 10-mile wide crater. And to put that into perspective, the one in Arizona is not even a mile across, almost a mile. It's like 3,000 some feet, 3,800 feet across, I believe. So, it's almost a mile. But, this is 10 miles. So, we do the math. I believe the impactor that hit the Arizona one was like 160 feet. The meteorite, they did the calculations. So if this is 10 times wider, this impact crater is bigger than the one in Arizona by 10 times. Then the impactor, the asteroid, had to have been over 1,600 feet across. That's pretty big. It's not no dinosaur killer, but it is, it is a significant creator. Or crater, I'm sorry. Creator. But you can clearly see the ridge around it. Now, pretty soon it's going to invert. That still looks like a crater. See, now it's starting to invert. It actually looks like a mound. But even you could clearly see the ridge. It's even in 2D. It looks like a mound. But that's just the imagery and the data. See, now it went back to looking like a crater. It's definitely a crater, and a 10-mile wide one at that. And then when you zoom in, it starts blurring too much. But you can clearly see the ridge. You can clearly see the deep crater. Now, the one in Arizona is very deep. Now, I can only imagine how deep this one goes. And I can only imagine how old this is. Now, we look at Google Earth all the time, and this is the first time. It's very easy to catch. It's very obvious. Now, it might have appeared simply because they're upgrading the data on Google Earth all the time because we never seen this before. It's very obvious. We were looking, these areas where it's light blue, you can usually find a lot of anomalies because, again, this is above sea level during the Ice Age. So that's Mary found an obvious impact crater just what almost due east of the Falkland Islands, a little bit south. But we can get the coordinates. Actually, when you put the object or whatever you're looking at in the middle of the screen, the coordinates will show up down here. And it's interesting that it's 53 degrees south and 54 degrees west. So it's pretty, even. It's really something. But right now they're 1,129 miles up from the surface of the Earth. And you can still see it. Let's zoom out even more. It's like 2,500 miles out, and you can still see it. That's because, again, it's 10 miles across. But it's a really interesting find, and you have to really hand it to Mary because she's always examining Google Earth. She's been spending a lot of time in Antarctica looking through these areas. A lot of times you can look and it'll be a natural features and things, but then she's been finding what appear to be metropolises, huge cities that were underneath the ice. So check out those videos. But this is an interesting find indeed. There's no doubt about it. See, we're almost 7,000 miles out, and you can't really see it. You have to zoom in right about there. You can start to see it right there. So that's obviously an impact crater. Now, we can find the one in Arizona, but that one would be more difficult to spot. But I'll impose some pictures of the one in Arizona. And also there was, some good comparisons to really indicate that that's exactly what this is, an impact crater right there. So, way to go, Mary. Yet another really good find. So be sure to subscribe to her channel and hit the like button. And feel free to make a comment. So thank you for watching, and we'll Google trot at you later.